100.3 K-Talk Podcast. Darkness Radio with Dave Schrader. Weeknights from 9 to midnight on 100.3 K-Talk.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving, and thank you for joining us here in the Darkness on the Edge of Town. I'm your host, Dave Schrader. Mally Fox, Tim Dennis, Stan. I'll have the night off. I'm all alone in the dark, dank studios of KTLK. And this evening, I've brought you a new show. Wanted to bring you some fun stuff out, but I also wanted to take a quick minute to thank all of you, the listeners. That's one of the things I'm most thankful for. Aside from my lovely children and family and the ability to work and do things that I love, I'm so thankful for you, the listeners, that keep us on the air every day, Monday through Friday, 11 till midnight, and the support that you've shown us over the last 5 years has really done my heart well. It's always amazing to come in and do this and to hear from you guys. You know, even at the beginning of the week when my birthday rolled around on Monday, just the outpouring of love and support I got on my Facebook pages and emails, and literally hundreds of them. I can't even tell you how much that touches me. So thank you all for being a part of my life and my every night experience. And I hope that you'll keep coming back here for years to come. It's just been a real pleasure. This evening, got something a little interesting. We're going to talk with medium Karen Gresham, and wanted to chat with her a little bit. Got an interesting email from her talking about UFO contact, afterlife secrets, things like that. And I thought it'd be kind of fun to have her come on and spend some time with us this evening. So we're going to bring her on here. She actually offers professional services to individuals, entrepreneurs, and cultural creatives using her intuitive skills to help people recognize signs and symbols speaking the language of spirit in their everyday lives. Her services include strategic consulting, clinical hypnotherapy, readings, photo readings, and personalized audio CDs attuned to the frequency of one's higher creativity. So let's welcome, to the first time for the Darkness on the Edge of Town, Miss Karen Gresham. Good evening.
Hi, Dave. How are you?
I'm doing well. Happy Thanksgiving, and thanks for coming to spend some time with us this evening.
Happy Thanksgiving to you. It's an honor to be on your show.
Well, thank you very much. I got your email, and I guess it covered you on USA Today. Was that the link?
Right. USA Today.
That's amazing stuff. Now, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the UFO contact and afterlife and get into that, but let's find out a little bit about you. Tell me a little bit about yourself as an intuitive. Are you a medium? Are you a psychic? Are you...
Well, I'm a psychic medium.
Okay.
And
covering all your bases,
I am able to perceive many things from individuals. I do psychometry through objects, through especially photographs, and then my mediumistic skills are that I do channel and receive messages from people who have passed on, and many things like that. So I've been doing this for a long time.
Now, when you talk to these spirits that have crossed over, do you speak to them? Do you see them physically? Do you see them in your mind's eye? Are they around us at all times? What can you tell us about that?
Well, it varies. That's a very interesting question. I sense them, and then afterwards, like if someone who comes to me has lost someone or that's crossed over, signs and symbols that the person has will be given by their loved ones who's passed on, and I can sometimes see those signs and symbols and recognize them, and then the person who has lost the loved one will say, yes, that was so. And so that's confirmation for them that they have been communicated with. I have seen images. I also, just the other day, had a client here who lost her husband a few years ago, and we were doing some hypnosis, and I was getting ready to make a music recording for her to use to develop her creative forces. And no one was in the room. It was as quiet as a mouse. And she heard 3 knocks, and it was recorded. I have never had that. That was a first.
Very cool.
And she was so excited about that because she said that her husband, she knew that that's how he got in touch with her, and she felt really, really happy. So these people who leave us that are loved ones, they do not die. They just go into another life and another plane, and what they want more than anything when they do cross over is to the people they left behind, they want them to see the truth. And the truth is that there is no death.
Well, now, when you say that they go on and live another life, so when my essence leaves here, do you mean I'm reincarnated, or do you mean that there's another spiritual plane that I live on?
Well, everything is different. Like many people reincarnate back on Earth in other lives, and some people have finished their journey on the Earth plane, and they reincarnate or incarnate into another world. There are many things, one of the most beautiful texts, the most ancient text is the Bible, and in God's house there are many mansions. And also a wonderful MD by the name of Brian Weiss, who wrote Many Lives, Many Masters, also talks about all this. We all have been around many times. And in answer to your question, you probably at some level know who you were or have been before better than anyone. We have sensations, like if we're drawn to a certain country, certain styles, certain situations, that sometimes we can perceive that we may have been in another life that was related to that. We just move in and out of theaters, basically. It's just like Shakespeare says. We just move in and out of theaters along our pathway of evolving consciousness, and each one of us has that. And some people move faster than others. Some people get there before others, but we all move and go forward and in and out of theaters of life. And what I'm trying
to understand too, just bear with me, for those of us that don't have this ability or certainly are not as in tune to it as you are, and not getting those kind of messages. I understand that, some of us can go on and reincarnate and such, and I've heard other mediums and spiritualists talk about the fact that we go to another plane to live and we continue on. Do we know that I don't know. What's the right question I'm looking for here? Do we know that we have died on that plane? Are we aware of that? Or are we just continuing on like a life just kept moving?
That's a very good question. That's great. Some people don't know they died, and some people do. Everyone's different. There are people that, talk about ghosts and hauntings, and not long ago, I was in New Orleans, and in a little town nearby, there had been a place. It was a mansion, actually in Clinton, Louisiana, near New Orleans, where someone back in the 1800s had constructed this house, this southern mansion, and he was a judge, and he had a 2.5-year-old child that fell from the window and died. And everyone in the town was talking about this child that was seen by many, many people. And this particular woman who now owns the house, her housekeeper saw the young child, and it was quite interesting. So my answer to that would be that child is probably trapped and couldn't get to the light, and is tied in some way to that property for whatever reason. And then it would be nice if people can actually pray to take them, to show them into the light, where they can be in the light. So that's my opinion about ghosts. And spirits are with us all the time. They're actually people and who have lived on Earth just like ourselves, who have come back or who would like to make contact with us to help us here achieve what we want, or to help us in times of emotional strife and so forth. But in answer to your question, yes, we do come back. Now, some people think that when people who are ill and are blocked pass on, they go to like a hospital on the other side. Mm-hmm. Or they may go to a school to learn about what they did, what they completed, or what they lacked in completion of their lesson.
Oh, don't depress me with the fact that I might have more schooling after this life is over. Karen, that does not please me.
We all do.
Oh, jeez. How do I get a hall pass?
We all do.
Can I just get my mom to write a note? Please excuse Dave from the afterlife. He has a doctor's appointment and an orthodontic appointment.
But it's really soothing to know this because, as long as we're embodied in this life, we have an opportunity to become aware, and it's a challenge for each and every one of us. No matter how much you know this, it still brings up emotions for all of us to think in these areas.
When we go over, we've talked on the show many times about reincarnation and how we choose our life as we go forward, and we keep rebirthing into these certain circles of people and influence, and who may have been our wives this time, maybe our daughters or our mothers or our fathers or our husbands in the next lifetime. Can we opt out of that cycle? Can I opt out of, hey, I'm tired of these people. I want to start over with a whole new batch of people. Can we do that?
Well, what it is that in answer to your question, I'm going to answer it this way. Wherever we are and whatever we have that is an emotional feeling is what we vibrate with. So everything that is in front of us is there for a reason, for something that we're attracting in the lightness within us. And sometimes if we have issues and don't really like somebody, that's a vibration that we can carry on into the next life. Or also, if we love somebody very deeply, we'll probably come back with them. So we do have control over that to a large extent, unless we're paying what the Eastern religion calls karma, which is a lesson, and that means the law of cause and effect. Does that help answer your question with that?
No, I just need you to tell me, yes, we can choose to come into a different life. But I'm just thinking, some of the people in this lifestyle, I have no interest in hanging out again in the next one.
Well, actually, we can.
I've learned all my